Oh, this would be a good hold on, let me take a picture. That'd be a good video picture. Matthew's looking on his phone. Is that what you want to do?
I mean, I don't know what else I'm supposed to do.
My favorite of the Here Comes the Boom intros was when I was joking with the wife about I'm going to see a show over there, and it cut you off when you're like, I will, boom!
See, that one's good, but I really like the sit in my lap.
Oh, that was good, too.
Yeah. Nope. Boom!
Made for a very awkward recording session, too.
Yeah, that's great.
Because I didn't tell you about, that I was using that for the intro until, what, the next day or something like that?
I never know what you're using for the intro until you make the intro.
Fair enough.
I always get the intro, and it's not usually the stuff we record first. It's always something random thrown in there. Or I drop all my shit, make a lot of noises at the beginning, and we use that.
That was a pretty good one, though.
It was a good intro. It was proper.
So what'd you think of the last intro, by the way, since we had to change it up due to copyright and not free use, or fair use?
No, I like it. This is I'm a fan of the using her theme song, and I think it fits still. Like, it has the right energy and everything.
I have actually had a couple of comments already, or messages sent to me as well about the comic book art that was on the cover. And a lot of people were asking, is something that we had made. We had the artwork of Matt and I versus each other with Mayu and Kagetsu in there, but it took me about, 8-10 hours to make that one comic book cover off of that.
Yeah, it was not a quick process.
And the best part of it is that we did actually have it printed off and turned into a blown up poster for Matt's room.
Yeah, it's actually hanging up on our wall of Stardom.
We do have myself, Waldo, with you as always.
And I'm the Matt.
And we also have Dr. the wife that you can't see, but she's really here, I promise.
She is a real person. She's not a figment of his imagination.
They don't have to knock on my door for any reason.
We'll eventually find him one day. Prove to the world that he's real.
I mean, I never saw him.
Eventually, people are going to ask you, what is he the doctor of?
Thugonomics?
Yes. That is only funny to me and Matt and Dr. the wife. You say he's a little bit pastier than your wall behind you?
A little bit.
I was actually thinking about it. I was like, watch, he'll make a cameo during this, of all things.
I did tell him we're recording, so he probably won't come in today. But if we hadn't gone and got food earlier, I wasn't going to say anything just to see if he ended up popping in.
Hey, move your tray, because it's like right in the camera. No.
Oh, my ashtray. Got you.
Yeah, these are things that we don't normally think about, folks, because we're trying to stay away from the screen as much as possible.
I was going to say, I've owned this webcam now for like 10 years, and I've used it 3 times.
This is number 3, by the way.
Yeah.
We used it the other day to record something, but I don't know if we'll
times then.
I don't know if we'll be able to use that for now or not.
I don't think right now. No.
So Matt, how you been doing?
I can't complain, just doing stuff. A lot of good wrestling going on right now since wrestling's a little bit back. I don't feel like this is probably a spoiler, AEW is going to make me watch an AEW pay-per-view. They got Thunder Rosa showing up.
You heard my skepticism earlier, didn't you?
Yeah, but they're at least going to get me to watch one match because I'll watch Thunder Rosa. Yeah, that's about it at the moment.
We don't know anything else.
Outside of Stardom, yeah, there's not a whole lot going on. I think
Oh,
we
yeah,
scroll a little bit. It's SummerSlam today.
they did. Stardom did have to cancel their shows for the rest of the month. One of the employees, I don't know if it's a wrestler, backstage worker. Hopefully, it's not Japanese Jack Tony. Somebody's got the plague.
Yeah, I know they mentioned like they canceled the first show because Julia was having headaches. So I was just curious if maybe it was her, but I don't know. I don't want to rumor anything.
No, and definitely won't hear us rumor anything like that here.
Yeah.
Whoever it is, we hope they get better soon.
Yeah.
But they did cancel all the way through the month of August, but they should be starting back up in September.
That's from what I hear. Yeah, we should get back onto it's the Grand Prix going on right now, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I got a Grand Prix shirt coming.
Yes, you do. Well, I'll get to that question later too.
Yeah. Dr. The Wife, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. Getting nagged by Waldo a whole
I was
lot.
about to say, riveting commentary there, was.
I just also noticed though this
I
is
don't
going to be
know.
the
If I
episode
share
where they
anything,
find out the. Oh, go ahead.
if I share anything, then it would give away too much of where I'm at and who I am and what I do. So I'm all right.
I wonder if people know where I'm at.
6 feet.
Yeah, I was just gonna say too though, this is gonna be the episode where everybody finds out that we smoke like fucking steam engines.
Trains, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, for the record, I do not smoke. So I guess I can
She
say
smokes
that.
more than all of us.
I don't smoke. I don't smoke. And I've put down the booze, so we're good. I don't smoke and I don't booze.
For now.
I try to smoke booze. What are you talking about?
I keep dipping it. It keeps going out. It's a sign that it's not strong enough. It needs to catch on fire.
Right?
Where I'm at right now, I do have the ability to stop and pick up what I call road liquor.
Is that
Because everybody sells it on the side of the road.
Oh, there you go.
I was telling Dr. The Wife about this a couple of months ago. Yeah, I was riding with somebody else, and I was like, stop, pull over. And they were like, what is it? Did you drop something? Something happened? Road liquor.
Vodka as far as the eyes can see.
No, I didn't go that far east on this one.
Nah.
So let's see. Things may look a little bit different this episode. We normally don't try to put ourselves on the camera, but we've actually had some questions come in over the last year of us doing things. And we thought that we would spend this episode doing a Q&A. Some of you astute fans, very astute use of the word astute, may have noticed in our notes, commentary, other twatter things that we do, that we started a Reddit to put questions on there. And it eventually turned into Ichigo giving us great questions, and one guy that I think we know that posted a question that I'm still trying to dime out.
Yeah, props to Ichigo for making this episode possible. Keep up the good work.
This is the Ichigo the Wise episode.
Yeah.
But we did have some other questions too, so I have spaced Ichigo's questions throughout the show.
Yeah, we took his suggestions and made them fit for us. Because nobody can do it like us. Yeah, that was lame. You can cut that.
Yeah.
You won't. You can.
There's not going to be a lot cut in this episode. I don't know how to cut and edit live episodes.
Just we're in different clothes every time the question comes up.
All right, take a break. Go change real quick. So I gave all of y'all a copy of the questions, but we haven't really talked about the answers yet. And Dr. the wife is going to be our moderator for us since y'all can kind of see her. I'm going to post a picture up now because I will do a little bit of editing. I promise.
A little bit.
Is she not there no more?
No, I'm here.
Oh, good.
Just make sure I look
Yep.
good when you post my picture.
It's the Dr. the wife picture.
I know.
All right, so without further delay, let's go into our questions. Dr. the wife?
Alrighty then. Okay, so the first one is
So you don't,
from... What?
I was about to say, you don't have them open, do you?
Yes, I do. I'm prepared, damn it. I have my notes.
One of us has to be prepared.
So the first question is from Ichigo the Wise. He says, what inspired you to start posting Stardom in the first place?
Matt, you want to go with this one first?
Yeah, I'll hit this one first. It's a good question. Long story short, Mayu, we had been talking about, we've been kicking around an idea to do a podcast. We're big fans of OSW Review. Shout out to them guys. Without them, we don't do this probably. And we were looking for a program to review, and we initially struck out on NXT because not a lot of people were watching NXT at the time. It wasn't huge. And while we were sitting around watching wrestling videos, kind of figuring out what we were doing, we came across a clip of Mayu basically being Mayu and destroying herself in the ring as she was attacking people. And we were like, we need to watch this. And literally within an hour of seeing a 5-second clip of Mayu, we had a subscription to Stardom and started watching all of those. And the plan became, cool, we'll start off with the, I'm going to say a lot probably during this. We'll start off with a just solely vocal podcast over NXT with an initial build up to doing this video podcast with Stardom. That was the initial goal. It was initially going to, what's the word I'm looking for here? Meet up with Kyrie coming over to NXT. And we were going to use that as a way to transition into doing Stardom as the video podcast, which was always the plan. But as we were watching more and more of the NXTs, we just weren't 100% behind the NXT stuff. So we were just like, screw it. Let's go ahead and bump over to the Stardom podcast and put Waldo doing as much work as possible.
That pretty much sums everything up. There were a couple of reasons why we started with NXT first. It was basically just to get a handle on how to edit.
Yeah.
Primarily for audio, because I'm really hard of hearing, and I'm the only one that actually wants to put effort into editing right now.
Yes.
We'll get into that question later about why and all the behind-the-scenes stuff, but suffice to say, I do a lot of the editing, and I call Matt to help me proof a lot of things and make sure that I'm got the audio levels correct. Who was the guy that we just burned out on in NXT? Chumley.
It was Chumley and Corbin.
Yeah, that series popped off. I want to say that was episode 4 of our NXT audio that's still up, but it was awful.
The Lucha Dragons, we weren't really feeling the Sin Cara stuff. It just kind of killed it. Whereas, you can watch a Stardom show, and for us, even if it's not something we're not 100% into, it's a 5-minute match. You can watch it, it's over, you're good.
Matt and I had been kind of disenchanted with wrestling for about a year prior to that. We had caught clips here and there. We were watching a bunch of other stuff, which is another question later. That's the beautiful thing about this headset. I could just flip the mic up and mute real quick. We had finally got back into wrestling, and we were really into the NXT stuff. So much so that we actually got a subscription to the Fed Network. and had constantly watched it and kept up with it. And we said, we want to get into a podcast. We want to do something. It just seemed like something that we would really enjoy. And come to find out that we were really not that big into NXT as we thought we were.
Yeah, it was like the stuff we were into, we were way into, but it was 2 or 3 people here and there. It wasn't the whole overall product.
And behind the scenes of that, we were already mapping out how to get to transition into a Stardom episode.
Yeah.
And we knew that the Stardom stuff would have to be more video based than it would be audio, because even back then I knew that if we put anything up aside from like Nitro stills of NXT, our channel would be closed really quick.
Yeah.
Our viewership or listening audience for NXT was, it was stank, just like the episodes.
Yeah, it was bad. And we also did a little bit of, I think, 2 episodes of NWA?
Yeah, we did. We did.
Which
2.
we were into doing that. It just kind of got pushed to the side when we started doing more of the Stardom stuff. So we both still follow NWA. Well, we were following NWA until...
Hi, Waldo here. Did you know that if you mention certain things on YouTube, they lowered the search results for your videos? That's why this edit is here, so you don't hear Matt say the word "dee."
And we wanted to keep doing that podcast. There's so much involved that we want to do with Stardom that it just kind of got pushed to the side.
I want to say that we've been watching Stardom for a little over 2 years, because I actually went and checked to see how long I've had the subscription. It was back in 2018.
That sounds right, yeah.
And I don't know, Dr. The Wife, is this a question that comes up later about how long we've been watching Stardom?
No.
Okay. I'm looking through the questions now.
And if so, it's for you.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Oh, there she is.
Sorry, I'm muting my mic too. I don't think so, but I am going to time you guys so that way you don't ramble on and you have enough time to answer all the questions. So.
Oh, we'll make this a 10-hour episode. I don't care.
Yeah, no. So
I don't
I'll
have
give
to
you
edit.
about
I'm
like a minute each. What do you think? Minute and a half?
I'd say as long as we're not going over 5 minutes, because some of them are more in-depth questions than others.
Okay. All right.
I don't want.
Is that
I'm not saying we'll hit 5 minutes, but like this question, you can't answer this question in a minute. You can,
Okay.
but it's not in-depth.
Yeah.
Some of them will be done in like 30 seconds.
Okay.
As long as, if we start hitting 5 minutes, go ahead and, cue the music.
I'm gonna say boom. Time's up. All right. Well, do you want me to move on to the next question?
Hold on 1 second before we move on. I can safely say for Matt and I, the reason that we got into Stardom as much as we did, considering all the other wrestling that was going on at the time, and to an extent even with the NWA when they were going strong before the plague hit, it's good to watch a wrestling show that is a wrestling show with minor stuff on the side that would be considered like your comedy segments.
Yeah.
It's not interview heavy. It's more straight to the point. And these ladies can go.
Yeah.
Every match on the card, even if it's not a Meltzer 27-star match, it is still contender of match of the month, possibly match of the year. All of them love what they do, whereas in the Feds and other organizations over here, for some of the side stuff that we watch that isn't quite mainstream, you can tell that a lot of people are doing that because they either have to or it's a gateway to something else.
Yeah, I think we can end it on this. Just one last thing to point out there. And I just totally lost my train of thought. Yeah. Oh, our goal, like, we didn't feel like it was getting the love it deserved because of how good it is. And like I said, we've touched on this before. So we just wanted to, like, even if we only get 1 or 2 people on to Stardom, we were like, this needs some more love. Let's try to push some stuff out there so that other people can find it possibly. So that was another inspiration, just to get them more numbers so that more people can watch what we consider to be good wrestling.
And we're totally not sponsored by them either. Trust me.
Yeah, not at all. I wish.
We've already had the finger wagged at us a couple of times. All right. What's the next one, Dr. The Wife?
All right. So, same person, Ichigo the wife says, "Who's your favorite Stardom wrestlers and why?"
You want to take this one first?
No,
Want me
you
to
go
take
ahead.
it?
Yeah.
I put a lot of thought into this, and I could arguably name any Stardom wrestler and give you a reason why they're my favorite. That's how good most of them are. But I think I'll stick with Tam Nakano. She has that weird trait of she could wrestle a broom, and you would still think she was possibly going to lose. You know, it's that underdog. You always want to cheer for Tam because you never think she's going to win. And she plays off that underdog really, really well. And, I mean, I'd watch her wrestle a broom and cheer her on. So I'd probably go with Tam.
I could make a case for any individual wrestler in Stardom being my favorite.
Yeah.
With the exception of...
We don't count foreigners. We don't count foreigners.
No, she knows who she is. She knows what she did.
We're getting there.
But my favorite is Mayu. It's because she's the greatest face since wrestling ever started.
Well,
But no, seriously though, it is Mayu, and it's because it's not just her ring presence. It's also mostly to do with her backstory as well too, because you know what you don't see on the screen or hear in the episodes is the fact that my past is almost kind of like hers in a way. Quit high school. I got my good enough degree. Things didn't quite work out when I was younger, and I just basically had to forge my own way and kind of figure things out for my own. Matt knows. He was with me for a lot of the problems.
Yeah.
And watching her as a wrestler, you could tell that she definitely works harder to be more entertaining and more athletic in the ring than somebody, let's say, Jungle, who by any measure is an amazing wrestler. Like I said, I can make a case for any of these ladies being my favorite wrestler. But it's more to do with the personality and the real life person, Mayu, of her history and how she is as a person and how appreciative she is of the position that she's in and the dedication that she has to the fans to present a 100% 38-star product every time.
I can see that. And knowing that she has to willingly do that because it's not something that she can just turn on. She has to actually push past stuff to get there. I can see that.
Dr. The Wife, who's your favorite Stardom wrestler right now?
She's good.
I'm leaving the awkward silence.
No, I was trying to make sure I'm not popping up different icons and things while you're recording. But my favorite wrestler actually is Mari. I like Mari a lot. I know there are different camps that say she's too slow or whatever the case is. But I find her entertaining, not to mention the fact that I might be maybe the only one out of the three of us that understands what she says. So when she says something funny, I'm the first one to catch it. So.
But I don't understand any of them, though, so it's okay.
I follow here and there. It's just you have to put her on like quarter speed to kind of catch whatever she's saying.
Right.
Yeah, I wish I could do that. I mean, to put it because I really have to listen to her promos more than once to see if I catch everything. If at least not directly, I have to at least just listen to the whole thing and just give you the gist of what she says because sometimes
I will say this, and we'll talk about her very shortly. When Matt and I first saw her, we didn't know anything about her. We just saw her making her way to the ring, and we're head scratching and said, "Oh crap, this is going to be a terrible match." And she made a believer out of us that first match we saw her. And if you ever hear this, Marty, we apologize for doubting you in any way, shape, or form. Like, please don't kill us.
Just so if Mari does watch this, just so you know, Mari, I had no doubts. I saw you come in and I was like, that's gonna be fun to watch. This match is fun.
I'd say she's a good example of how good all the roster is, and with her, like Waldo said, we were skeptical at first, but then she made us believers, and therefore we were open to give everybody in Stardom a chance. And so far, most people in Stardom have lived up to that expectations we put on them since then.
So I guess you're kind of saying that she kind of helped you give more wrestlers in Stardom the benefit of the doubt?
100%. So we will give a wrestler a match before we start going yay or nay now, as opposed to just looking at them and going, this is going to be shit.
Well, that's cool. That's fair. All right. The next question is from me, Dr. the Wife. And it's up to either of you who wishes to answer, hopefully both. What's your favorite dessert?
Oh, hold on. I got something for this. I'm coming. I swear. Thank God for wireless headsets.
Coffee?
Read the mug.
I already knew the answer before you went and got the gimmick.
I'm so dang Texas, I eat Bluebell, drink Shiner, and shit blue bonnets.
And you, the Matt?
I don't know that I necessarily have a favorite dessert, but
Because you're fat.
Stop that.
Because I'm fat. But I won't turn down a cheesecake. I like cheesecake.
Nice. My favorite dessert has to be hopefully I get this correct, but it's a pecan pie that has...
Pecan.
Pecan.
What? I'm getting this call down, Matt.
So
It comes from a Native American word. It's pecan.
We all say pecan in New Jersey. So it's a pecan pie or pecan pie that has chocolate and it's made out of a liquor. I forgot if it's rum or what it is, but it's so good.
I love how that's her favorite pie right after she said she put the booze down.
Yeah, but you cook out the alcohol, so you're not gonna get.
I don't drink no more. I just eat
I
my
put it in my
booze.
food. I'll put wine in my spaghetti. Cook out the alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
So technically, I'm not boozing.
Okay. No, for those that don't know, we do watch a lot of the wrestling memes and stuff like that. So if you ever hear us say like the "you fat" joke, it's obviously a reference to Steiner.
Yeah. And I'm fat.
Oh my god.
Well, that too.
So the next question is from Ichigo the Wise, and this is to either of you. He asks, let me make sure I widen this a little bit. He asks, beforehand, did any of you watch JWP or AJW Joshi Wrestling before starting YouTube?
Matt?
I think you have a more exciting answer on this one, so I'll let you go ahead and start.
The answer is yes, I actually have. I can't speak for Matt on this because growing up, our wrestling exposure was very limited. We had the all faithful channels of 369, sometimes 12, and on a very good day, sometimes 33. Matt was actually the first one of our group to get a satellite dish. And I think that thing is still in the backyard of the old house, too.
Probably.
I did not watch JWP that much because that was far, far out there at the time. All Japan Women's, yes, and that's only because for some strange reason, I knew more about Japanese wrestling in the 90s than I did about American wrestling. Am I wrong, Matt?
No.
So I knew who some of these people were. Aja Kong, obviously. Bull Nakano. There were a few others. But it's as they were making their way into the Fed during the 90s when Vince tried to not push, but like gently nudge women's wrestling to be not be Moolah and Mae Young.
Hmm.
Some of these women were showing up. It's like, okay, where are all these women who had the same theme song coming from? And I actually started looking into it and found what was the old Bill Apter magazine?
Don't get me to lie to you.
Pro Wrestling Illustrated? Yeah.
I know that's one of them, yeah.
So I used to sit in Walmart because there was only one in our entire county, and sit over in the book aisle while everybody was doing their shopping and catch up on Pro Wrestling Illustrated. Did a little bit of tape trading, very limited because we didn't know a lot of people with tapes back then.
Yeah, I don't know of anybody.
Yeah.
Us.
Yeah, us. So we are our tape trading crowd right here. And every now and then, whenever I would go over to Matt's house and his parents were not there, we would stumble across some Japanese wrestling on TV over there. Now, this is late 90s, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
And since then, since the invention of Al Gore's interwebs, we have kept up a lot better with it. But as far as like from middle age to now, I've probably kept up with it better than Matt has.
Yeah. I'd say for me, like I was aware of Bull Nakano. I was aware of the Japanese bombshells. I was aware that there was this world that I wasn't aware of, if that makes sense. I do remember growing up catching every now and then like old Glow wrestling.
I forgot about that too.
Yeah, and then kind of getting into like Shimmer and WXW, I think, which was terrible, but it was just if you wanted women's wrestling.
Oh, now you just got me in a load of trouble. No, not from any of our viewers, but one viewer in particular. Bring! But I'm going to be in so much trouble now.
What am I missing?
Our friend was supposed to come do a show over here for WXW, and it's the plague and everything, but
Fair enough.
we can't be speaking bad on WXW right now.
It was like for women's wrestling, it didn't really set them forward, but it gave them a shot at least. So I mean, I've always kind of enjoyed women's wrestling when it's done right. It's just I was not aware. Like I said, I was aware of, but I didn't know how to access Japanese women Joshi wrestling at all. So yeah, that's for me. It was more of a weird American underground women's wrestling as opposed to Japanese women's wrestling.
Before we go to the next question, because I know Dr. The Wife you only watched Fed, right?
Yeah, I only watched the Fed. I think back in the 80s I was kind of not passively watching because I usually only caught it when the Saturday morning cartoons were over, and that I was so into that. So I was watching around that time when Hogan was big and Macho Man was big and Yokozuna and Doink was on the show.
And Yoga, it was big.
Yeah, and Taker and all that.
Right.
I started back up again when a friend of mine, you got me back into it, and he's passed already, but I was into it when Stone Cold was on it, and I was so big into Stone Cold it wasn't even funny. And then also when Sting was on it, so I was watching both channels when they were on. I forget which channels they were, but I know one of them was on TNT, so I was watching both channels. Yeah. So after Sting and after Stone Cold, when they were done, I was done. Because it just got to the point where divas got big, and that to me was garbage. It was just the time when you got up to go to the kitchen and get your snacks and hope that they were done by the time you got back. And then again, when I met Waldo, I got back into watching a little bit of it through the pay-per-views, and then OSW came along and started watching it to revisit some of the memories of 80s wrestling. And then I'm here.
As told by potato-loving Irishman.
And since this is the Ichigo the Wise bonus episode, I'd be remiss to point out that his Twitter page has opened me up to a lot more current Joshi stuff via GIFs and recommendations that he posts on there.
Say,
So
before you go too far, same with Dave.
yeah, same with Dave.
Yeah, we've picked up on that since he pointed it out to us.
Yeah, so props to both of you guys for you're making us wise.
We on a side here, because I know it wasn't a question, but I know it will come up later. Looking at you, 21, you know who I'm talking about. We do catch, now that we're adults, and are able to. Well, I'm able to drive. So now that we're able to get out more and do stuff, we do catch other shows, independent shows, try to go, as long as they're not too expensive, because we still do have bills and stuff. One in particular that I was supposed to go to, but it got canceled due to the plague. Oh, I'll make sure my stuff's not showing on there.
Put full credit card information on screen now.
Yeah. No, I don't think anything's on here. I got it. But I was supposed to go to, I don't know if I'm holding that right, a new show for a promotion that's actually being started up by Alpha Female, who was a red belt title holder in Stardom.
Yeah.
And she was so kind to me when I was working on getting the tickets. I was originally supposed to be in like the 15th row because I just wanted to show up. And my ticket was mysteriously, we'll never know why, bumped up to row 1, seat 2. So I hope that show will come back around. Let's see.
All right. You ready for the next question?
Yep, let's go ahead.
So the next question is from Ichigo the Wise.
Oh, God. Let me go get my coffee.
So here we go. No, what are you doing? Come back.
Go ahead and ask. Go ahead and ask.
All right. All right. So the next question is dun dun dun. Is Mayu really truly evil?
You want to start this one off?
Now go ahead. I'm gonna do my coffee while you're over there bullshitting everybody.
Yes.
Excellent commentary there, sir.
Is that your final answer?
Final answer.
Okay, well, I'll start getting my coffee water started. Come back over here. No! The ultimate face. Nobody can be more face.
I'll say she's not evil, but she's definitely number one heel.
This will never end.
Like, she's not murdering babies, but she'll throw one at an opponent to get a cheap win.
Will wag my back scratcher at you on this one. How could you be a heel when you were hung from the balcony by the heels?
Yeah, but did she think about all the people she was going to land on and how she was going to harm them? No.
There was nobody under her. Stop that.
There was a lot of people under her. She might not have always been a heel, but we'll get into that later.
I'll tell you, the only match that we ever truly had a question of whether she was heel or not was the actual very first match that her and Arisa had on Stardom. And it was only because it was the first show.
Everybody was still figuring it out.
Everybody was a tweener on that show.
Yeah. Well, all but one.
Yeah.
So we won't go into
that. That's all. Yeah. No, she's not heel. She's not evil. It's ultimate babyface.
Evil.
What do you think, Dr. The Wife?
So is Mayu the one that's known as a pink string being that one?
No, that's Saki.
She's ultimate evil.
So then so Mayu's the one that knows how to or has wrestling techniques. Is that the one?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I mean, you guys have your back and forth about her, but I think she's kind of cool. Just because her showing, not only telling, but showing that she knows how to wrestle and the techniques of it all, I thought was fun to watch. Now, whether or not she's truly a heel or a face, I don't know. My thing is the other one, the pink stream bean, is kind of strange with regard to
Okay,
how
we'll get into that. We'll
healing.
get into that one later.
Yeah, so that's my opinion
But
on that. So is
but
Mayu
wait,
truly evil? I don't know. I don't know about all that, but she's fun to
but you're
watch.
saying she is cool,
Yeah, yeah, she's cool.
and everybody always knows that the bad guys are cool. Just
You
saying.
know what? I can't.
Just saying.
You're not wrong because I do root for the bad guys sometimes. So you're not wrong
Uh,
there. You're not
uh,
wrong. I'm a very big fan of the Evil Queen and Maleficent and all them. So you're not wrong there.
Yep. I'm just saying. Think of Sting in the '80s. He was not cool, but he was a babyface.
hold on now. When RoboCop showed up,
He was not cool,
Oh my god.
but he was a babyface.
Oh my god. Oh my god. All right.
oh, I wish I could clip that in. It's RoboCop.
Clip it.
I can't.
So, well, you can't put a picture of well, no, you can't. Anyway, so here's the next one. This one's from Battle Axe Steve, and you have in parentheses, I think this is someone we know. So,
I think this is 4. I'm just gonna go.
so the question
You think
is,
what?
this obviously isn't your day job. What do y'all do?
Is that an insult?
No, so I think this is 24. I have 2 people that work for me, and I have dubbed them 21 and 24.
Fair enough.
21 has already had a reference in this video. I think this is 24 asking. I think.
So I think the easiest answer is you do computers, I do theater.
Do I really do computers, though?
You do life management, I do computers.
You do. No.
I-
You truly do mullets. That's what you truly do. Mullets and
That's
blue
true.
belt.
We do mullets and theater.
Yeah, Matt actually has a real daytime job. I have kind of daytime job that I'm actually trying to retire out of right now. I'm close.
You're close.
So
I just.
I'm holding you on record, by the way.
I don't
This is
know.
the first time I've referred to theater as a real daytime job. I'm holding you to that.
so you ain't acting.
Not anymore. Not anymore.
I used to do stuff like that back in the day too. So this is kind of like I said, I think this is somebody we know that's trying to out us
Oh,
in
really?
a very friendly way.
Well, just be sure that you edit it heavily so that it doesn't. It's very.
No,
quick.
we will be fine.
Oh.
Yeah.
For funsies, Matt and I actually worked together for a period of 4 years,
Yeah.
and we worked at a fast food place.
Yeah.
And that was during high school and a little bit afterwards. And then we went off and
Two
got.
fast food places, actually.
Oh yeah. We stayed at one of them for a week and then realized that it was awful.
And went to the other one that was slightly less worse.
But they paid us, so I don't want to say they paid us good. They just paid us.
They paid us better.
Did they though?
I mean, I got put on the schedule, so yes.
So Matt and I have known each other since high school.
20 years now, yeah. No,
Yeah.
junior high. 25 years.
Was it junior high?
It was 8th grade.
Oh yeah, man, it's been a long time.
I'll give you a little background. Band class.
Thank God I quit high school. And I've known Doctor, the wife, for probably 15 years.
I think so. Wasn't it more than that? Because you found me one day and decided to laugh at me, point and laugh, and run away because you don't heal.
Yeah, so that sounds very awkward on this video with no context. And we'll just leave it at that.
Just leave it there. Junior high courtship.
Well, I actually I didn't met sorry, let's try that again. I didn't meet Waldo in junior high. I actually met him later in life. So
I just said it's that boy taunting girl to show that he likes her type. Junior high courtship.
yeah, no. But
She was the victim of a mugging, and I had a medical kit with me and just laughed at her and ran away. That's totally what it was.
totally what it was. No, but I mean, we met through very unique circumstances, and that's how I met the Matt. And then with regard to what I do, I don't know. I mean, is it that important? I'm Doctor the Wife. That's it.
I'm gonna
All you
not
need
I'm
to
gonna
know.
not throw context on this either. I'm just gonna refer to the fact that the first time I met Dr. the Wife, there was a long conversation about micro penises.
What? Was there?
There was, and I'm just gonna leave it at that.
I don't remember that. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, there you have it. All right. So,
I'm all, nobody wants to see me. I'm okay with this. I know my lot
I
in
didn't even
life.
know you were gone.
Yeah.
We talk about micro penises and someone disappears.
oh no. So
Where's Dr.
the next question is from Ichigo the Wise, and he asks, "What's your beef with Saki Kashima?"
Matt, I'll let you answer this one first.
I have no beef. I like Saki the Savior. Um, so I've got no answer. Saki the Savior. She'll save us from stores.
So, Ichigo, I want to apologize ahead of time. I actually cannot answer this one all the way. And Matt actually knows why. Dr. Wife knows a little bit of why too, but I'll answer what I can, okay? We are kind of restricted on this channel of not going too far into the future on our episodes. What's the best way to put this? We have not been officially acknowledged, and we will never be officially acknowledged. There are people that do know we exist and are, I don't want to say they're okay, I'll say they're tolerable with what we're doing.
Tolerant.
Yet tolerant right now.
Because they're trying to say you're tolerating them when it's actually the opposite.
Yeah, they're kind of just tolerating us to see what we do right now. And so long as we stay far enough in the past, and we'll get more into that when we get into the where we go in question.
Yeah, if we haven't covered it, we can't cover it, pretty much.
But I will say this. She broke my heart. How have you not seen this coming, Mayu? Every time we go back and look at one of these older episodes, you can just see it in her little eyes that she's going to betray somebody.
That Saki the Savior is coming.
Betrayer. Betrayer. It happened last year. No, it happened this year. Yeah, it happened
Yeah,
this
beginning
year.
of this year.
At the very beginning at the very beginning of this year. And if you have an account on www.stardom-world.com for 920 yen a month, and if you go look around January, February timeframe, you will look and know what I'm talking about.
Praise be to Saki.
Bullshit. Broke my heart. How? Shame. All right. That's all I have.
That's it. Next question.
All right. Well, the next one is to either of you. If you could be in one Stardom faction, current or past, which one and why?
Go ahead, Matt.
Oyatai, Keigetsu, and Azuki version. I feel like they're probably one of the greatest tag teams of all time. And to be able to team with them and learn from them, that would be phenomenal.
As much as I love Mayu and all the Stardom roster and appreciate how face Mayu is, I know that in real life, I'm not like that at all. I am far, far, far away from being a nice and gentle person. So I will tell you that I have to agree with Matt and go with Oedota.
Yep. I even took this question. This was a little off the cuff. I took it a little bit further, and I formed my own stable. Is that allowed? Can I go into that?
Go on. I'm curious how this is going to go.
All right. I am going back to 2011, to the beginnings of Stardom, and I am going to recruit Natsuko Taiyu, Iris Souza, Mayu, and Arisa from the get-go, and just have the most high-speed, amazing faction from the get-go and get to watch and learn and see them become the great wrestlers that they became, while having probably one of the most underrated Stardom people in Natsuko, who was just her powerbomb, man. Her powerbomb is still my favorite thing ever in Stardom, and that's my stable.
I'm okay with this.
Yeah.
I wish I could remember her name. I didn't have it written down or anything. We always called her Hippie Chick.
Natsuko.
No. The one that did
Yes.
the single leg lift up power bomb.
Natsuko.
The current Natsuko is the one
No.
you're talking.
No,
Oh, that's
Natsuko.
okay.
Kaya.
Okay. Oh, I got you. Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, sawed-off shotgun that still can put a power bomb on somebody.
Yeah. I want to use her to train Mayu, Arisa, and Eri, and just make this unstoppable faction from the get-go. Short of that, I would probably grab Thunder Rosa. What's the pink dream? What's her name? Alex Vega?
No, Alexa Gracia
Alexa Gracia,
or Alex. Sorry.
Alex Gracia, and then whoever else comes from Texas and form me the lone Stardom stable. Yep. That's my third answer. Those three answers. Odio Tai, a faction unnamed with all the future stars of Stardom, and lone Stardom.
Yeah, if only they had had the foresight of what's going on today at Mission Pro Wrestling. A lot of Stardom alumni over there, and they could have had easily a Texas stable in Stardom at the time, too.
And then that would bring Stardom to Texas for us to watch live more often.
We just
So
lived.
That's a strong answer. Yeah, that's a strong answer as well.
We would live there longer than Old Ref would.
Right?
God bless Old Ref.
So I actually don't have a preference for factions. Factions. I actually had to look them up to see what the factions were. If I were to be asked which faction do I think looks kind of cool or interesting, I would say Tokyo Cyber Squad looks interesting.
Good answer.
Yeah, but I don't know. I like the way Mari functions. She's just outside of all of that. So I'd probably be the lone wolf there. So
You can just jump in with her and Hana before Tokyo Cyber Squad actually became Tokyo Cyber Squad.
yeah,
Just wrong them too.
yeah. So I'd be the outside person. I wouldn't really be in a group, but yeah, Tokyo Cyber Squad to me looks kind of cool.
Yeah.
All right. So next question is from Terry Craig Jr. Are you guys going to do the split between Hana and Oedo Tai?
Short answer is yes. We will get there, and that will have its own arc dedicated to that.
We've talked about doing some side episodes. That could be one of those side episodes that we do.
Matt and I have actually talked about doing a series, like, let's say we were to do seasons, right? We had talked about going into different timeline arcs of Stardom kind of bouncing around. We'll get into this later, where we're going, but one of them that we had talked about doing was Oedo Tai and the different parts of it, because I think right now it's fair to say that we're kind of in chapter 4 of Oedo Tai. We see
4.5 due to
Insert censored name here.
yeah, but really we're kind of we've seen different phases of Oedo Tai.
yeah.
You really want to do an Oedo Tai timeline, and I've wanted to do something even prior to May. Wanted to do something for Hana.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get by later, but to kind of piggyback off the answer we had a while ago, that's a little bit too far in the future for us to touch right now.
It's our past.
Well,
It's some of my past.
yeah, oh yeah, because I'm thinking about the actual feud she has with him.
No,
Sorry.
It's not my past, yeah.
Yeah, so maybe, but with everything going on right now, I kind of want to steer clear of that, and a lot of that has to do with out of respect for Kyoko. She's been real vocal as of late that she kind of wants to, like, we're not trying to, like, we don't bring a profit on this channel in the first place. We want to make that very clear. This is a free channel and always will be free. We don't want it to seem like that we're trying to profit off of a tragedy.
Yeah.
But we really do, and we have been, I have been wanting to do an arc concerning Oedo, Tai, and Hana, and more Hana stuff too. It just, we wanted to get established as a channel first, and then everything just started snowballing from there.
So
I
basically,
said
it's too soon.
we've touched on it in the past of wanting like dream projects. Like I'd like to do a TAM retrospective. We had a fan ask for I forget her name.
Diamond.
Yeah, and this is stuff we would like to do, and we possibly will do in the future. We just don't want to commit, because I think I committed kind of hard when that first came out, and then we never did anything with it. So we don't want to overcommit either until we realize, we can do it.
And that's another problem that we have as well too, is that when we first started watching Stardom, they had not yet migrated to their new video hosting server, not the platform, the actual server. When we first got our account with stardom-world.com, they had everything on there from 2011 and onward. I mean, everything. And we were watching religiously, and we were all the way through, 2014?
Something like that.
Did the server transfer.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, everything just vanished. And the only thing that was on there was, let's say, like the most recent 6 months.
Yeah. That was even the craziest part, was the podcast was initially going to start with Stardom 2011 and work through every episode. Thankfully for us, because we didn't realize how much of an undertaking. The server transfer happened, and we had to start where we started. We picked a really good starting point. But our initial plan was Stardom 2011 covered everything. Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah. But about a week before we sat down to record, they changed the servers, and we had to change up our plans. So.
But it's good that they changed servers, though. So
yeah,
they were running out of storage space because they were hosting internally to themselves, and now it's more of a. This is before even they got bought out by Bushiroad.
Yeah,
they had gone to a more of a cloud platform to where they were able to host larger file sizes. So not only were the matches being re-uploaded, but they were being re-uploaded with higher definition as well, too.
And I would say too, like a plus has been. You used to have to wait like a week for new stuff to post, right? Like it wasn't.
Yeah, roughly.
It wasn't 3 hours later like it is now.
So I think that's partly because of the work of Miss Yuki Nakai.
Yeah, that's possibly.
She
very much no props on them on that.
Yeah, she's on the twatter. I know she does a lot of the translation now. She does a lot of the backstage video. Very, very quick to get stuff posted up, because you'd see a match in 2018. Or you'd see the results of a match pop up, and it wouldn't be up for like another 2 or 3 months sometimes.
Yeah, it'd be a while.
Depending on how high profile a match it was. Yeah. Like, I'll give you an example. In November of 2019 was when Mayu got the red belt for the second time. That match made it onto the Stardom site, I want to say within the day or two?
It was fairly quick.
And the rest of the card didn't make it until like a month later.
Yeah. Whereas now, like I said, you're getting the first match of the night like 2 to 3 hours after the show finishes.
Yeah, it's like they got somebody on the teletype right there doing all the translations. But yeah, they're slowly starting to restock the Stardom site back up with all the original videos. I know they're all the way through 2012 right now. But they're in higher def. They're getting there, but it is a continual effort. And that's been one good thing. If you could say anything good came from the plague, it's that Stardom has actually been taking this time to re-upload and continue filling out their catalog. And also update their YouTube channel very well, too, also.
So as that gets loaded, and as we learn how to find some of these old Japanese tapes that we can't currently find, we'll do more side projects. It's a thing that we have planned to do.
A lot of that has to do with work schedules as well, too.
Yeah.
Matt does work full-time. I work, I'd say more than full-time, wouldn't you?
Oh, full-time, yeah.
So that's why there's a month gap between each episode right now. Occasionally, whenever I'm back in the Republic, I will post up more than one episode per month.
I was saying that's when we get the commercials and when we get the side stuff. So
Yeah, a lot
Yeah.
of it has to do with timing.
Yeah.
All right, what's the next one, Dr. The Wife?
Okay, so the next one is from Ichigo the Wise. How much Stardom merch do you have?
7.
We have more than 7. So some of the stuff that we have is before Stardom did their server changeover. One of the bad things that they did was they were on they were being hosted by, I can't remember, but it was eligible to buy from anywhere worldwide. And so that's where I got my Mayu shirt. Can y'all see that?
Mm-hmm.
So I got this when they were still on the old system and was able to get it shipped to Texas at the time. And I was very thankful for also, the hat too. I
Mm-hmm.
got the hat on the old system and I was very thankful for that because it was like right after I got the order completed and the stuff shipped to me, they shut down their store. And that's in episode 6 where you heard me and Matt complaining about the store and everything and did the wolf commercial.
That's why I fully regret not buying the
Hoodie.
Oneotai hoodie when I had the chance. Yeah.
Hoodie and the Kagetsu Hazuki tag team shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of regrets. We're still looking for it. Faceforwrestling@gmail.com. We're willing to haggle.
Oneotai white hoodie. I need it.
But since
Extra
their new
large.
store has opened up, we ran into a tough spot trying to figure out how to order, but obviously we've been able to here lately.
Yeah.
I have my Stardom shirt on right now,
I don't have it on, but I have the same Stardom shirt.
but bigger.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
I have this.
Not technically Stardom merch, but I'm a
Well,
fan.
I mean, she was nice enough to send it to me, so.
I say I'm a fan though. I'm not complaining.
Let's see, I don't have a lot of stuff here.
No, I have
And
a lot of stuff here on the wall. We have the little Stardom wall, which he's shown the picture before. Can you pop in the picture here?
ding.
That's our Stardom wall. We have some other stuff currently on order that we're waiting on. We'll send that stuff y'all's way. But we're starting to get up into the double digits, I think.
Oh, I just finished that this week.
Oh.
I wonder if we can, like, we may have to add in a segment where it's just you and me and not Dr. The Wife listening because she's going to, like, throw a brick at me when I say this.
All right, now you got to say it.
Oh, God. So I've made more orders on Newegg.
You what?
I got some more stuff coming in from, not Newegg, Nerd.
White Rabbit.
White Rabbit.
How's...
Go Newegg, though.
I mean, the tracksuit's going to be worth it.
Yeah, I have the tracksuit. Oh, let me pull up. I'm gonna show in the picture or in the screen now. I took a screenshot of what all I've got waiting to get here from White Rabbit, and I will tell you that when dealing with White Rabbit, they will get the stuff and hold it, and you can ship it out when you get all your stuff there.
Yeah.
So there's one thing waiting in my mailbox right now, and that is I believe that's the autographed jungle picture that we ordered.
Yeah.
So that's sitting there waiting, and we have, let's see, we have a tracksuit, a book.
The Mayu autobiography. Make sure and pick that up.
Yep. That's ordered, but it hasn't shipped yet because Amazon hasn't gotten them yet over there.
Yeah.
And so I can't order, where my current situation, I can't order from Japanese Amazon and ship to where I'm at. So I have to use White Rabbit to order what I could normally order right away.
I think this leads us into the next question.
Hold on. I have more stuff.
Oh.
Just ordered the 5-star Grand Prix shirt
Uh-huh.
and also the new guide, the program guide.
Yeah, to go to 2 we have.
Yeah, volume 131.
Yeah.
And I have on order right now the Oedo towel that they just came out with because, every hitchhiker needs a towel.
Yep.
I have the mini things that we'll get into later. I have new Oedo Tai shirt coming. I have a autographed Natsuko picture coming. And that's all I'm going to say for right now because there's another episode coming for some of the other stuff Matt had to order.
Yep.
But I did, Matt brought it up, I did order the Mayu autobiography. And I'm not too good into kanji yet, but by God, I will bust out that hiragana and katakana.
Mm-hmm. And I'll have him read it to me as I go to bed every night.
Very slowly.
So yeah, to answer the question, we're getting into the double digits. We're getting there. But I think this is a good segue into the next question.
All right. So the next question is from, let's see, same. Ichigo the Wise wants to know, when's the White Rabbit sponsorship?
As soon as they want to pay us.
Yeah, as soon as they want to pay. You know what? They ain't even got to pay me. Just cut the shipping and holding fees, and we'll consider that a sponsorship. Right? I'll push it every episode. I'll wake up. I'll go on the twatter. I'll push it out there. You tell them that if they will just wholesale it to me, I'm good.
Right.
I use them enough where that pays for a sponsorship.
The full answer, we're not currently looking for sponsorship. Like, we would take any sponsors that want to come our way, but we haven't reached out to them. We're not looking to reach out to anybody. They just are really good at allowing us to order Stardom merch, as well as other Japanese merch.
No, just Stardom merch.
I mean, that's all we order. But yeah, so that's pretty much that.
No, we wouldn't turn it down. But
no. If you want to sponsor us, we're here.
We love you, White Rabbit. I will say I didn't learn about it until, what was it, episode 5 or 6? Somebody had made a comment.
Yeah.
And they said White Rabbit, and Matt and I were reading it and did not understand a word of it.
No clue.
We thought somebody was like trying to mail us rabbits. We had never heard of it. We don't get on the internet like that. We thought this was going to be something gross because that's the internet. We'd laugh at it. I'd laugh at it. I've laughed at worse. But once we discovered who they were, they're on my Christmas card list. All right, what's our next question?
All right. So John Wilson of Huntsville, Alabama asks, how do you keep getting my number?
In a callback from episode 3. Because if we can't get the word out about Stardom and other great wrestling, the communists win.
And we don't want the communists to win.
We actually have a question sent in this week, Matt.
A question of the week?
John Wilson of Huntsville, Alabama says, who are you and why won't you leave me alone?
Fair point. As we said, we are Face for Wrestling, and we're here to annoy you. That's our job in this world.
Do you remember this one, Matt?
I remember the comment, but I still don't have his number, so I don't know how you keep getting his number.
I keep asking him for it, and he keeps forgetting who I am. I'll go on Facebook and be like, hey, man, what's your updated number? He'll send it to me, and I just start badgering him, signing him up for all sorts of, like, telemarketers and stuff.
So don't send him your number.
I'm a great friend.
Oh, my goodness. Ichigo the Wise asks, favorite Hana Kimura moment?
Matt?
This is kind of like the favorite Stardom wrestler moment. There's so many that it's hard to narrow it down. But just for brevity's sake, I think I'm going to go with Hana and Mayu for the red belt. Even though Hana didn't win, I think that was the match that really, like, we had always kind of knew there was something special about her, but that was the match that kind of, her awakening match, if you will. Like, that match, you knew she was about to be a star, and it was just a wonderful match.
Dr. Dwight, do you have any before I get into mine?
Um, I haven't seen all of her stuff, but I think my favorite moment was one of the ones that you edited it. You edited. Um,
Oh, the Mortal Kombat
yeah,
one?
I thought that was pretty funny. Yeah, I enjoyed that. It was well timed too. But I don't know. I generally what I like about her is just her presence is very fun to watch. You know, even the way she uses her character, it looks very well thought out. You know what I mean? I'm still learning the other wrestlers, but I thought for her, she spent a lot of time trying to get to know her character and really embracing it. You know what I mean?
I would say that Matt and I have a lot of respect for people that have a very unique or detailed job,
Hmm.
not just wrestling, because Matt and I have been in a lot of different lines of work. We've crossed paths a lot in our work. Not a lot of people appreciate everything that goes into a craft or a skill set or whatever it is that you choose to do. If you're really good at something, it takes a lot of effort and talent to get there. And nobody, regardless of what anybody says, you cannot prove to me that people are just naturals at everything or anything at all. There's still training and learning and patience that's required for everything.
Yeah.
I actually wrote this down because I didn't want to mess any of this up. Hana did a series of interviews in mid 2009. Perfect English. English so much better and gooder than I could ever hope for in my life. Matt and I stumbled across these on the Stardom site because they were re-uploading some of their side stuff because they have more stuff than just matches on there.
Mhm.
These were done in New York, I think, before the Madison Square Garden thing.
Hmm.
And it was a bunch of stuff like word association and general questions. But there were a couple in particular where she asked about why she wanted to be a wrestler. And she explained that she wanted to be an inspiration. And it was those series of interviews that really struck a chord with me. I like wrestling and I like Stardom. And Hana went out of her way to learn different languages, not just English. That's the only one that I can understand that she speaks because I knew that she spoke little bits and pieces of other languages too. Because we also pointed out that she knows how to slither speak in Spanish.
Hmm.
But she used all that to convey her love of wrestling and to make it more entertaining for the fans as well. She definitely succeeded in her goal of inspiration as I'm going out of my way now to learn Japanese because of Hana. And I'm when did I start my struggle to learn Japanese, Matt?
Year ago, year and a half.
Mm-hmm. Roughly somewhere around there.
Yeah.
It's been tough. I'm hard of hearing. I'm very redneck, and so a lot of my pronunciations are very off. That being said, you don't see in wrestling promotions or really in general a lot of working environments to where you have Hana or somebody like Hana on your roster that goes out of their way to try to do what they can to bring in more fans, not for just her, but for the product.
Yeah.
So when she's out there making appearances and stuff, it's not just money in her pocket, it's money in everybody's pocket.
Yeah.
And our friend has a little one that I would say she definitely doesn't know yet, but she does know that of all the characters in Stardom, she's probably the most colorful in the Tokyo Cyber Squad thing.
Hmm.
And her skit of finding the vaccine from the top of Death Mountain is always going to be one of my favorites too.
Mm.
It's really hard to see somebody that's that young because she was 22 and she had already knew what she wanted to do in life.
Hmm.
I'm 40 and I still don't know.
Wow, you're old.
But don't y'all worry, folks. Doctor, the wife is older than me. I marry up.
Untrue. In any case.
Why are you beating up your mic
Sorry,
while
sorry.
we're recording?
In any case, your next question is, what are your goals for the channel, and what does the future hold for Face for Wrestling?
Well, technically, we've already met the goal. Our goal is to turn somebody on to Stardom, and we've done that
Three
thrice.
times. Yeah, three times.
Thrice. So the goal's met. So the future goals are continue enjoying Stardom and keep finding people to watch Stardom. And I think those are pretty easy goals. Do you have any other goals you want to throw out there before we go into the future?
You and I have talked offline about making this channel kind of a home to wayward souls, I guess.
I think we've gathered a couple.
Yeah, so no, not just for the wrestling aspect of it too. There are people out there that are trying to get their foothold in the YouTube world, like
Right.
that are even worse than us.
Mhm.
So I have a link in the description below for 21 in his Twitch channel where he plays different games like all the other gaming channels out there.
Mhm.
Show him some love and then call him 21 and he'll know who sent you. There's a lot of cool projects that we have lined up. We really do. Like we got the Mission Pro Wrestling show that Matt's going to here pretty soon.
I say we'll go into that into the future stuff, but any actual goals?
Goals? No, just get more people to like Stardom.
Just get more. Yeah. So now we'd go into what the future holds. You can continue on with the Mission Pro stuff here.
You may have seen that we do occasionally go to other shows and post them on our Facebook.
Mhm.
We may, for the Mission Pro one, we do have VIP tickets. I will be watching from afar. Matt will be there in person wearing his question mark mask. They just said a mask was required. They didn't say what kind.
I gotta wear the question mark one now. It's so tight on my big head.
He's gonna be sitting in the front row. Karate?
Hey.
We miss you, question mark. A lot of what we do depends on work.
Yeah.
Matt has more free time than I do right now due to the plague, but I'm in the exact opposite situation. Because of the plague, I have more work to do.
Yeah.
So I'm only looking at doing what I do for, I'd say, another year. I'm pretty confident that I'll either be fired or told to go home or
Here's your ball. Go home.
I will be future endeavored in about a year.
Future endeavor, you're not going to stone cold it and take your ball and leave?
Yeah. I wish I could do that now.
You don't want to put Brock over?
No, a lot of it has to do for work. We do want to do side arcs. We want to invite people to post within our channel as well too.
Yeah.
Because if we can entertain, like just with the math videos that I'm doing on the side, they're short, they're simple. I already know that one person has showed up for the math and stayed for the wrestling with Stardom.
Right.
That's a win.
Okay.
As far as I'm concerned, I have succeeded in my goal.
I think we have, like, I'm not going to say what it is yet, but we do have something that'll be coming up that'll be a Twitter, Instagram thing that's going to happen. Nothing in depth, but a photo series that we're going to start that I'll be running. Like I said, there are definite side projects we want to do. It'll happen because all you have to do is take pictures. It's easy. There are definite, like I said, I still want to do a Tam Nakano retrospective. We want to do the Odia tie split retrospective. We want to do a Hana retrospective. We want to do some other shows possibly in the future. Part of that depends on how lazy I am / how they're not us dependent, So it'll depend on how I'm able to find people, because I haven't even talked to Waldo about this one yet, but how I'm able to find people to fill in gaps for stuff. There's a lot of stuff I would like to do. I'm not going to tell you what any of it is, because if I do and I never do it, then I look like shit. But if I don't tell you what to expect, then it's bonus free content. So it's a win. But yeah, there's a bunch of stuff that once time permits and we figure out what we're doing more and we have more time to work on it, that we would like to throw out there.
Doctor the Wife, any additional future work for you?
Um, I am just still trying to find my footing in or niche in the face for wrestling world here. So, with regard to future endeavors from me, um, you probably might not see too much from me in terms of what Waldo and the Matt are doing, but I'll just kind of be commenting or behind the scenes filming with them or whatever the case may be. But I don't have anything to share that I'm doing on the side to share with the world, I guess is the way to put it.
I'll say it since she's not going to. She does the filming for some of our stuff.
Yeah.
So like the first commercial that we did, she did the filming for that. The second one, she criticized that one. So
Well, I mostly provide the other perspective, the ideas. So if they are out of ideas, I'll provide some from my own, just from a visual perspective. If I were the one watching it, what would I want to see? So
I was gonna say it's also a plus having someone who, though a wrestling fan, isn't as huge into the wrestling fandom as we are, kind of watch it and give feedback for what we can do for people who are like that, who aren't. You know, I think the ones that are huge into Stardom are going to give us a pass on a lot of the stuff we do and say, because they're like, we like the wrestling. That's all that matters. But those that might want the extra content, she gives a perspective on that we don't have, because we're like, we'd watch anything with Stardom on it. So I think that's a bonus.
so any additional questions that y'all have, like internal?
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead first.
I didn't have an additional question. I just this popped into my head right now as a possible future, and I'll pitch this one, and we'll see what happens. But I know we had talked about creating, like, taking an old Fed game and creating all the Stardom wrestlers in there. So we might run a weird fantasy Stardom video game.
2K19. We spent what?
We spent a long time.
20 hours of game time trying to create Mayu, and we did a damn good job.
Yeah, so if I can maybe figure out how to do all the, create all the Stardom wrestlers there, we may run a side weird fantasy. Plus, I'd have to find out how to upload it, because otherwise it'd just be me pointing a camera at a TV, which is kind of boring. But, something to think about. I don't know. There's a lot of opportunities, a lot of thoughts, but we'll see.
I still play Fire Pro with the Stardom DLC on there. We thought about doing some We Play, but I don't know if y'all can pick up on it, but Matt and I are not co-located right now. So
there's a lot of stuff that once, and like you said, about a year from now, we'll start looking at expanding some more of this stuff.
Maybe,
hopefully.
Because I'll have nothing but time on my hands.
Yeah, you'll just have straight up math videos every day. No.
Stats ain't math.
Stats ain't math. Yeah, like I said, I look forward to the future now that we've been doing this for a year. And again, I don't think we've said that this was the year anniversary yet, this episode, for the year-long anniversary. But we want to thank you guys for, like, we have about 100 of you guys that watch fairly, I won't say religiously, but fairly often.
No, it's over 100.
I was saying but that watch every time we drop a new episode, they watch it.
Yeah. And we love the comments.
Yeah.
Don't ever think that we're getting aggravated or anything like that.
No.
We love being educated on this kind of stuff.
So this is just a shout out to you guys. We didn't think a year in we'd have 100 people. Like, we used to joke about it on some of the NXT videos, like, our dozens of fans. Like, that's all we thought we would have
joking about dozens. We were talking about our couple of fans.
Yeah. We thought that's where we'd be for a couple of years. We assumed we'd still do it, but we didn't think people would want to hear us do it. So massive props to you guys. As long as you guys keep showing up, and we're going to try to find stuff to entertain y'all. You want to show them some love?
All right. Well, I don't have anything else. I don't have any other questions. I would say the same thing. Thank y'all for listening and enjoying Stardom with us. I know I'm a late comer with regard to the team, so I enjoyed it just the same. But I hope that everybody continues to come. Maybe encourage other friends to come listen in and watch more Stardom. And then any other questions that you may have, go to Reddit and share some love there as well, and give us some more questions to talk about. And perhaps we may have another one of these uh, pretty soon, or maybe in the second year anniversary of the channel.
Yeah.
Yeah, we honestly did not think we'd make it this far. There were extra content for the Q&A, I guess. We ran into an issue, what was it, 6 months ago, Matt?
You have to tell me what the issue is.
Where we got told that we know you exist,
Oh, yeah.
and had a very stern finger wagged at us.
I was like, on top of that, too, like, I'll throw another side story out there. When we first started doing this, I think even episode 1, if not 2,
Of the NXT? Or
no, of
Mike.
Stardom, we were just going around posting on other people's channels.
Yeah.
Until finally somebody was like, "What the fuck are you doing? Like, you can't leech off my fan base." And we're like, "Oh, sorry, my bad."
Guys, we're terrible with social media. We are.
Yeah. We've learned so much, and we still have so much to learn on it. But just the fact that now that we have that fan base, and like, I don't want to be a like whore or any of that stuff, but like, stuff is getting liked on Twitter, stuff is getting followed on Facebook. It's just been the fact that that has to come from you guys, because we're not overly able to properly advertise the channel. It's just, like I said, we don't have to go out there and beg for fans anymore. It's been pretty great. It's been awesome.
Yeah, and as much as we want to get a fan base for the channel, it's not really about that more so than it is becoming a fan base for Stardom.
Yeah, we want a community to where I think if you look at any bit of wrestling Twitter, the wrestling community kind of sucks as a general whole. And we're trying to find that niche inside wrestling community to where it doesn't suck, where everybody's can come and chill and be cool. And so far we have that with you guys, and that's what we're looking for. More of that, a community of who can we bullshit with.
Yeah, we got told, I think it was March, when the No People Gate show came out, and I referenced it in one of the episodes. It was told, calm down there, Hoss.
Right.
Too far into the future.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I won't do that again.
Never again.
That's some of the episodes later. This will be the B-roll credits. Some of the episodes since then, we've tap danced around some of the stuff going on, just like with the Saki question that came up earlier. I really want to go into why, and I point out what show at what minute mark, what second mark it happened.
You know when your heart broke.
Because I watched that show the next day.
Yeah.
And they were I made it a point not to watch any social media and go and watch that show. And then, what was it, like 3 weeks later, the other one happened?
Yeah.
I called Matt and I said, I think I'm an idiot.
He is. No, I definitely would like to go into some of that stuff more, and I'm looking forward to when we get there and are able to. Yeah. Yeah, Savior Saki is coming. That's all I'm gonna say.
I will say this though. We have been trying, and the plague really threw us off. You want to talk about future stuff coming up? I'll go ahead and call it because it is going to happen, and I'm gonna pull my knife out for this. The one that I'm gonna hopefully get autographed here pretty soon. Hint,
No,
hint.
it's not that one.
It's gonna be a bigger one.
That's a big one. That's not a knife.
um, we're going. We're going to a couple of shows.
Yeah.
Hook or by crook, we're going to a couple of shows. The only reason that I would stay employed where I'm at right now is if they offered me the opportunity to go on, let's say, a conference in, because I go to conferences every now and then. My most recent conference was in Norway. Fully paid, as long as they do stuff like that, hey, I'm good. You want to send me over to Japan a couple of times a year for a conference here and there, I'll go. Just know that I'm not going to the conference. I'm just going to show up to Stardom shows. And I'm like, where were you
Right.
for? But that's one upside to what it is that I do. But for future stuff, yes, we are going to shows. By God, we are going to shows. Anything you want to add to that, Matt?
No, yeah, that is the full term goal, I guess. Really, go to a show.
I don't have anything else either. I guess we can end it here because it's already been about an hour. But
that's fine.
Thank y'all for listening. We really appreciate you taking the time and listening to this podcast and allowing us to answer some of your questions. Again, if you have any other questions, please be sure to go to the Reddit and share your questions there. We will either answer them promptly there, or you're more than welcome to go to any of our social media outlets, Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook, and you can share in the comments, and one of us will probably answer you there. If not, you can...
Yeah, probably Waldo, but
or you can also take a look at the memes of the day, because those are pretty entertaining as well, and share your thoughts there, or even try to title some of them. That'd be entertaining to see as well.
Yeah. It's not every day, but...
Sometimes.
The GIF of the some days.
GIF of the some days. So I believe Waldo will post some of the social media information somewhere in the screen. There you go. And then we will see you in our next episode. I have my streamers for Body ready, so I'm ready to go.
You want to give them that bit of preview for the next episode?
What are we doing next episode?
The next